Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode with iTrek. Big shout out to all the iTrek fan that is tapping in at this very moment. I appreciate you guys for doing so. And if this is your first time here, what we like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy videos from all across the internet. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button if you're not already a part of the iTrek fam. And let's just jump straight into it.
This technology is going to blow your mind. This procedure is called a rotationplasty, where they remove a section of the bone, including the knee, and attach the foot backwards on the upper part of the leg. This is for those particularly with cancer who have to have their knee removed. By attaching the foot in this way, they make the ankle their new knee. This way, when they attach the prosthetic, the person can flex their foot and actually bend their knee. Because the nerves are still attached, with some practice, they can get back near full mobility with this technique. So cool to see.
This man invented a piece of glass that enables you to see different things that you cannot see with the naked eye. As you can see on the video, he was able to spot unidentified flying objects in the sky when he sees through the glass. However, when he removes the glass, those unidentified flying objects seem to vanish. They disappear. Somehow this glass provides us insights, a different angle as to what's out there. And really what this means is that UFOs, what we think are UFOs, are always out there. We just don't see them, but they see us. This person was unalived, perhaps by the government, foreign government. Maybe it was non-humans themselves. I don't know, but he had a great invention, and now we don't know who holds the formula for it. Good night.
Well, hey, it's not the first time and it won't be the last.
Morning, I was testing our new model, and I got emailed a question that I didn't quite understand. And I put it in the model, this GPT-5, and it answered it perfectly. And I really kind of sat back in my chair, and I was just like, oh man, here it is moment. And I got over it quickly. I got busy onto the next thing. But it was like, it's what kind of we were talking about. I felt like useless relative to the AI in this thing that I felt like I should have been able to do, and I couldn't, and it was really hard. But the AI just did it like that.
Yeah.
It was a weird feeling.
All right, if you guys don't know who I am, I'm Real Shapeshift. Why do they call me Real Shapeshift? Well, obviously I can do some weird shit with my body. If you haven't seen the updates, like for example, my elbows, they're growing some weird ass extra limbs. My thumbs, you'll look at that. Some people are saying, hey, your elbows, it's bursitis, it's gout, that's arthritis. It's not. We've had all that checked. If you want to see something cooler, like for example, my hands, if you haven't seen like what my fingers can do, watch this. That's kind of fucking weird, right? That's something you won't find elsewhere. If you haven't seen my eye updates, go check out my eye videos. We're gonna be doing teeth stuff later, if you haven't seen that as well. So there's a lot of weird shit that's going on. We're trying to figure out exactly what's happening. Stay tuned. Go check out, where is it? Over here. Go check out the page, the updates. We're doing a live a little bit later today. Go check shit out.
Starting a revolution.
And I definitely do have a few videos of him switching his eyes from normal to cat eye. So yeah, it's a lot going on with him. I'm surprised he's not in somebody's laboratory right about now.
According to his post, it had been an ordinary, albeit rainy day, working alone inside a quiet store. Confused and uneasy, Johan decided to review the store's CCTV footage to figure out what had just happened. Clearly visible on the security cameras, Johan's hood and even the fabric of his shirt are unmistakably tugged backward by an unseen presence.
Apparently Elon Musk has made the executive decision that he's going to be bringing Vine back, but this time it's going to be all AI. Because Twitter was the company that bought Vine back in 2017, now that Elon owns Twitter, he technically owns Vine too. But I guess for some reason he wants all of the videos on there to be entirely AI generated. But in the comments, it seems like people don't even really want that because there's already enough AI generated content on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Not to mention a lot of people are really concerned about what he's going to name it. Because he changed Twitter's name to X, there's a really good chance that Vine is going to be called Y or Z. And others are just saying that we really don't need any more social media apps. We already have enough.
I definitely can second that motion. You know why? Because Vine came and went. It's kind of like saying you want to bring MySpace back. I don't think we need it.
Is a schizophrenia simulator created by someone with schizophrenia to show what their auditory and visual hallucinations actually look like. This is so fascinating to see to get better perspective on what these patients actually experience. Check it out.
Nice friend. Oh, it's such a beautiful day. What's so beautiful about it? Watch out.
Now, obviously, this is one individual's perception of their hallucinations, and this can vary from individual to individual. We know that schizophrenia is at least in part genetically linked, as it does run in families, but there's been no one gene that's been identified to cause this. There's a strong link with dopamine and glutamate imbalances in the brain that are often triggered by traumas, heavy drug use, or even birth complications. There's still so much we don't understand about this condition, but the description gives a lot more info.
DARPA figured out how to rewrite thought from a distance. It started with a project called Silent Talk, military experiments where soldiers could send messages brain to brain. No wires, no speech, no permission. They said it was for communication, but then they started mapping emotion and rewriting trauma. In newer trials, they found something else. You could overwrite a memory or implant a new one. They call it neuromodulation, but it sounds a lot more like remote possession. If you've ever had a thought that didn't feel like yours, maybe it wasn't.
One of the main reasons why Beyonce is allegedly on tour is because Jay-Z is having money problems. I just read a blind item that alleged that he paid off his alleged son to go away and stop causing problems for him, and also read a blind item a few weeks ago that one of his holding companies is about to file for bankruptcy. Speaking of the permanent A-list rapper, he is having cash flow issues, which is one of the reasons his wife is on the road. And again, this allegedly Beyonce and Jay-Z. And the related blind item from the beginning of July reads, one of the companies that manages most of the holdings of the permanent A-list rapper is about to file for bankruptcy. And the first related headline reads, Rymir Satterthwaite, Jay-Z's alleged son, drops paternity lawsuit. And again, the blind items allege that Jay-Z wrote him a big check to go away so that he didn't have to provide his DNA because his DNA could potentially link him to other murders from the past. And this next related headline reads, Beyonce fan recounts dehumanizing experience at singer's concert after paying over $650 for VIP ticket.
Now, I'm not going to lie, that does come off pretty strange. I mean, you could have just did the paternity test for free, but instead you chose just to come up with the bag and make it all go away. Interesting.
Details have been revealed about Hulk Hogan's dreadful final weeks. The WWE icon's sickness-plagued final weeks have been shared by a source close to the family, explaining how Hogan was suffering from a very weak heart. As his life slipped away, the wrestler, whose real name was Terry Bollea, used his remaining days to make amends with estranged loved ones and settle final scores, not wanting to leave anything unsaid. Hulk Hogan passed away aged 71, surrounded by friends and loved ones.
All the time, as well as okay. That was weird. What are the odds something just walks next to us?
Well, I got it.
Office may have recorded the first time traveler.
2006, the TV show The Office may have recorded the first ever official video of a time traveler.
What are you talking about?
In the show The Office, this episode was shot in 2006, right? It shows Michael walking up the stairs. I think it's in a subway, and there's a guy that walks in front of him going down the stairs, right? And the guy has on headphones. These headphones look very similar. They're AirPods. This guy has on AirPods in 2006 as he's walking down the stairs, and everybody on the internet, when this was pointed out, started going crazy, claiming this is the first official proof of time travel.
First, you have to assume those are the AirPods. I mean, we can't see any labels. I mean, yeah, they look like they're wireless, which I don't think wireless headphones were available at that time, especially earbuds, wireless earbuds. I don't think they were there in 2006.
Probably not. I don't even think the iPhone came out to 2008.
Hey, now, wouldn't that be wild? It's almost like a form of predictive programming.
They called the Blair Witch Project a movie, but it was actually a real-life psychological experiment that changed them forever. The filmmakers had actually given the actors GPS coordinates, handed them a camera, and said, "Go here." They then left them completely alone in the forest. There was no traditional script, just a few sentences each day telling them how their characters generally felt or what they needed to do. But the really cool thing is, no one knew what the other was told. So that means that every fight, every scream, every breakdown was real, or as real as it could be. And the confusion, that wasn't acting, that was genuine panic. Every night the director would sneak into the woods, mess with their campsite, shake their tent, play terrifying noises just to scare them while they were sleeping. The actors were freezing, starving, and completely disoriented. Their food was intentionally reduced every single day to make them more irritable. One of them got so fed up he nearly left the shoot early, and that's why his character disappears in the film. So yeah, this wasn't acting, this was like borderline torture, all for the sake of realism. Like even this iconic scene with the guy in the corner, the actors didn't know this was happening. They didn't know how it was going to end. They were just led to this abandoned house alone and told to follow the scream. And then what they saw when they got there, like the standing figure, the silence, the raw terror, that was their genuine reaction. The filmmakers never explained it to them, and to this day, people argue over what it even means. The really funny and wild part to me is that audiences thought this was real, like actually real, like the actors were listed as missing on IMDb, and their families actually received condolence letters. This was all done on a budget of $60,000, but they made almost $250 million and launched the found footage genre. Like, this is something that made found footage what it is today. Before this, there wasn't found footage really. So yes, the Blair Witch Project is a horror movie, but the way they made it, that is the real horror. Was this genius or completely unethical? Would you ever agree to be in a movie filmed like this? I think I might. Tell me in the comments. I'm dying to hear where you land on this, and hit the plus for more.
Hey, I definitely remember when this came out, and this broke so many records because the majority of horror movies, have such a low overhead but such a high upside. And the Blair Witch Project definitely changed the game.
I'm David McClellan, and I want you to know that I could probably look at your camera right now. This includes interior cameras, exterior cameras, PlayStations, baby monitors, some phones, even some cars have cameras. Anything that has an IP address, I can go to a website called shodan.io, I can type in that IP address, and I can see any unsecured camera, and I can start monitoring you right away. I'm a cybersecurity expert, and I help people stay safe online.
So how big of a conspiracy theorist are you? I'll go first. Donald Trump and Elon Musk wanted to see the gold in Fort Knox, and then the American people wanted to see the gold in Fort Knox. And then Elon Musk and Trump had a breakup. And then Elon quit his job with Doge. And then the Epstein files resurfaced, and then they sunk again. And then Obama has been accused of treason, the highest crime in the land, even worse than murder. But he hasn't been arrested yet. But meanwhile, if you go down to Walmart and you self-check out a 52-inch TV for the price of bread, they will arrest you with a private police force before you even leave the store. But through all of these twists and turns, you weren't asking to see or even thinking about the gold in Fort Knox, and that's how they get you.
Propaganda and distraction is the name of the game.
In 2006, 4 proteins were discovered: Octi4, SOX2, KLF4 and CMYC. Together, they became known as the Yamanaka factors, capable of resetting adult cells back into stem cells, erasing their biological identity. Skin becomes blank, blank becomes potential, and potential becomes anything: muscle, nerve, heart. But the process was slow, unstable, and hard to control until now. OpenAI's new model, GPT-4b Micro, has increased stem cell production efficiency by 50 times. Not by predicting, but by redesigning. It mapped new biological pathways, optimized the reprogramming process, and delivered a result that human researchers had never reached alone. This breakthrough is backed by $180 million from Sam Altman and Retro Biosciences, a company aiming to add 10 years to the human lifespan. If AI can rewire the science of aging, the next question isn't how far we've come, it's how far we're willing to go.
Interestingly, we do this when we don't like something we hear or see. I see this a lot with lie detection. So we do a lot of lie detection research, and I've noticed lying makes people feel dirty. We do not like to lie. And so people will often make the disgust expression as they're lying. So I'll say, so what do you think of the new guy? Oh, yeah, he's pretty good. And they hold this expression up. Look for secret disgust if you ask someone a preference-based question. If they are lying, they will often show disgust because they're literally disgusted with themselves for having to make that distinction.
Hey, now I had to leave you with some gems, right?
One viral clip, Luna introduces viewers to something he calls the Lunar Levitation Press. Luna's body begins to slowly rise. Another clip shows a feat Luna dubs the chakra smash. Luna dramatically punches his palm onto the ground, which somehow propels him off the ground, as if harnessing unseen energy for levitation.
If you live in America, you're going to want to listen to this video because when you wake up tomorrow morning, you're officially going to be back in time. Tomorrow is officially the end of daylight savings, and everywhere in America is going to be going back 1 hour. So when the time hits in your region, you are officially going to go back 1 hour, and that's usually early tomorrow morning. Everywhere in America except this little shaded region in Arizona and all of Hawaii. Other than that, every other place in America, your time is going to change, and if you do not have a regular phone or a clock that is automatically synced up to the internet, it is not going to change, and when you wake up, if you don't set your alarm clocks the correct way, you're going to be an hour ahead. Now, we have tried to get this to pass through the government to actually make this a law where nobody does daylight savings time, and we all just continue on through the year with our regular clocks, but that has got stalled up in the government, just how most bills do, and right now we're still celebrating and observing daylight savings time where we go back an hour, and then in the spring we will spring forward. So just remember, tomorrow when you wake up, if you wake up at 8 o'clock and you haven't reset your clock, it's really only going to be 7 o'clock in the morning.
There are so many eerie coincidences between Youngblood and Ozzy Osbourne that I literally can't keep up, but my comment section is keeping me updated. I had no idea that in 2016, Dom was on the UK Disney show called The Lodge and he played the character Oz. I found it interesting that the show launched in 2016 and the series is based on the Israeli series The North Star. But the show only lasted till November of 2017, so everybody's saying that Dom was super famous before he was Youngblood kinda has me confused. But that's not all. Do any of you remember the plane crash that happened in 1982 that changed Ozzy Osbourne's life and career? Ozzy and his bandmates were touring the United States and they were headed from Knoxville, Tennessee to Orlando, Florida. They had stopped in Leesburg, Florida and they were staying at a mansion, but Ozzy and Sharon decided to sleep in the back of the tour bus when all of a sudden they heard an explosion and their road manager screaming for everybody to get out of the bus right now. When they exited the bus, they saw their road manager on the ground crying, and when they looked up, they realized that a plane full of people they knew had crashed into the mansion they were staying at. Ozzy and Sharon also stated that if they wouldn't have gotten out of the bus, they could have passed right along with them. And who was on that plane? Ozzy Osbourne's lead guitarist, Rhodes, the pilot, Andrew Aycock, and 58-year-old hairstylist, Rachel Youngblood. And I just find it interesting how close the Osbournes have been getting to Youngblood, stating that Youngblood is exactly like Ozzy Osbourne, when Ozzy has 6 other kids. So yeah, Ozzy had 3 other children aside from Jack, Kelly, and Amy. There's Jessica Starshine, Elliot Kingsley, and Louis Osborne that the world hasn't really heard about. So it really makes me wonder how many out there have Ozzy Osbourne's genetic mutant DNA, you know, the kind that scientists have never seen before.
Now that's interesting, because I only knew Ozzy from like a surface level point of view. It seemed like he had a pretty colorful life, but there's still more questions than answers though. Let me know what you think.
All the news you're not going to see on TV today, but it's going to be simplified in 60 seconds. Scientists have now officially discovered that cockroach milk is actually 4 times more nutritious than cow's milk is. Okay. They're saying that this milk is actually higher in protein. It's also packed with amino acids, and some people are actually believing that it could feed the future. I beg your pardon. This new UFO was just captured by the US military flying through the sky in never before seen footage, so here we go again. Every single time we have a new UFO sighting, you guys are never failing to record it with a literal toaster oven, so can you guys please use your phone next time? The psychotherapist is now saying that there are 10 key signs that somebody in your life is a narcissist. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the entire article. If you want to see the list, you can pause and read it here. Scientists are now saying that this mysterious new radio pulse that was detected high above Antarctica may actually be evidence of an exotic new particle. Okay. So they're saying that this cosmic particle detector has now spotted a burst of strange radio signals from the ice of Antarctica that currently defies explanation. They literally do not know what it is. I'm probably going to speak for everybody on the planet when I say this, but can we please keep those radio pulses in Antarctica? Thank you. I give you these news roundups every day, so make sure you add me and come back to me tomorrow.
The real reason the industry turned on Drake is the labels don't want any more superstars.
Because of the label's lack of participation in creating that star, they don't want to support you the way they used to create that superstar, because you're going to use that power against them.
That is Chris Gotti, music executive most known for founding Murder Inc. Records in 1999 with his brother Irv Gotti. But what he is talking about is backed up by data by the big 3 music labels, Universal, Sony, and Warner Music Group. Over the last 5 years, the big 3 have spent well over $25 billion on scouting talent. Because of social media and all the one-hit wonders who come and go daily, it all makes sense. But it goes even deeper. Lucien Grange talked about how powerful it can be managing a superstar, saying it shrinks their royalty rates by 35 to 50%. So yes, it's great to have a star, but that means less money for the business. And the data shows year over year that the top 10 songs take less and less market share, meaning there's so much music and content out there that the biggest stars aren't as big from a number standpoint as they used to be. So labels are leaning towards having more semi-successful artists over a few powerful ones. In other words, they want to retain more control. For example, Halsey exposed Universal in 2022 that they wouldn't release her new song until they faked a viral TikTok before releasing. And Halsey sold over 165 million records, going more into the point they don't care if you're a star, they want control. Full circle back to Drake, he got paid $400 million from Universal, and the rumor is he paid them back in less than a year and a half, making the next contract negotiation a lot harder on Universal, which is why they got the whole entertainment industry to go against them, and it still didn't work. Because of the day and age we live in and the lack of talent actually being developed, this could be the last era of music with true superstars.
I mean, for those that have been paying attention, every single business model that we know changes. Nothing stays the same. So all that's to be expected.
There's a part in a Rock Nation contract that says that people are not allowed to sing about Christ. Yeah. So I'll be wondering, I'll be like, yo, God, why? Why have you swung my sword?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you came in the game with Jesus walks.
Why? Bro,
like,
I'll be trying to...
Whenever they're doing spiritual warfare, it has to do with your birthday portal. The day you passed away and the day you are born are days that an energy could follow you. Whether you pass away naturally or through a ritual, they're going to be able to see you pass away in order to do whatever ritual. So between technology, the Sophia robot, Pistis Sophia, Saint Sophia, Mama Bridget, Saint Bridget, a lot of things that people don't understand, like Scottish Freemasonry, it's based off numbers. The universe talks in numbers. So when you see people passing away around the same time, that means they were traveling in the spiritual realm at the same time, which means these movies and TV shows and scripts and books are based off of people passing away and people being born. So when I look at Malcolm Jamal Warner and I think about the name Rashad Jamal and him being, doing this whole thing where he tells a lot about the spiritual realm, then getting locked up for other things. So it's just sometimes that spirit could come into the energy based on the birthday. Jamal Rashad is like 1122. So I think about JFK, Presidency, Brave New World, Braveheart, Scottish, Irish. So Malcolm and Jamal Warner found love. And when you find love and family, a lot of times you get taken out because you might lead the new world into the heaven on earth.
You have paranormal questions after a mysterious figure was spotted near a home in Compton. Ring video from Jessica Ortiz's home camera caught someone or something walking by her home. She said this happened around 1 a.m. on June 5th. Jessica said her 2 other cameras didn't catch anything, and her neighbors didn't notice anything either.
I was sitting in my son's room with my son. We were staring at each other like, what do we do? We didn't even know what to do. Like, I'm not going to call the police. I'm not going to go outside. I guess I'm going to have to live with the doubt because I'm not checking.
Now, Jessica said some people think it's a child, a mariachi, or even a large cockatoo.
It didn't look human. And I don't blame her for not going outside and checking either, because, I mean, why would you?
I think Tesla's shit. It's a surveillance car. That shit's 100%. They're a data company. Elon Musk is like Lex Luthor. He wants to implant a chip in your brain. He owns the internet. He owns your car. He owns your Wi-Fi. Now he owns your social media platform, and he owns the AI, and he owns the information that's going to feed the AI. At any moment, they can blackmail the dude for doing something that he wasn't supposed to do. That's why all these... Well, we won't go into that one. But anyways, back to the point. The intentions may start good, but in the wrong hands, they can become extremely misused.
What the fuck? What? Oh, there's like a whole skeleton down there.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is. An animal? That is a skeleton. Holy shit.
Of what?
I hope a dog. It looks like a dog. It's big.
Let me see it.
Holy shit. Dude. Dude, what the heck?
What is this for? Is this supposed to be like a shooter? Oh, shit. There it is.
It's like a big dog, right?
Holy cow.
Dude, what the heck?
They buried something under the stairs.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Can you push the door open more?
No, it's stuck on this. Dude, that is creepy.
Yeah, look at it.
Oh, wow.
What the heck?
I bet you the dog was running up here like a bando dog and fell through.
Dude, like how many bones? You think that's a full skeleton or you think it's multiple?
That's wild. Could be multiple. They could have all fallen.
Oh my god.
2020, a man earned himself $2 million from door dashing by figuring out how to get DoorDash to pay him for delivering food to himself. Here's how it worked. He took himself and a few friends, including a DoorDash employee, and created fake DoorDash customer accounts, placed orders that had a large portion of food or just a large order in general, and then assigned those orders to fake drivers that they controlled, ready to be picked up. Once the fake delivery was marked as complete, DoorDash paid them as a group, collecting both the delivery fee and other additional revenue. So they still paid for the food, but they also got paid to deliver it to themselves. But they didn't stop there. You see, because one of them was a DoorDash employee, they would use a trick to reopen the order and reassign it. This means they were doing the same delivery ticket over and over again. This was repeated for hundreds of times, and each time triggered a new payout for the same order. They would get to a point where they were getting really greedy and attempted to steal more than $2.5 million in just a few hours. Eventually they got caught, and the man behind all of it pled guilty.
I mean, somewhere in his mind, he had to have known it just wasn't going to work out like that.
Right, speak to staff or text police 61016. We'll sort it.
She lose my hands. Yo, there's somebody watching you on the back. Where? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god, I swear to god, this thing just fucking looked at me. Oh my fucking...
After a baby giraffe was born without any spots at a zoo in Tennessee. As it turns out, not only is this incredibly rare, but giraffe experts believe that she is the only solid reticulated giraffe living anywhere on the planet. That zoo's about to get real busy. Daily Mail reports that while other spotless calves have been born before, they were fully white and none of them have been a solid brown color. The zoo is also letting the public vote on what the giraffe's name should be.
Yeah, the only hardcore thing is that there is a extremely classified document dealing with religion, and it's about that thing. Period. But why would there be any classified material dealing with religion?
I want to go back to the religion thing. I want you to say it.
Oh, come on, that's so weird.
I'm not asking you to say what you believe to be a fact. I'm asking you to say what you read in a report that is distributed at what may be the most top secret facility in the world. Okay, nice.
All right, it's so far out.
All right, your objection has been noted.
Okay.
What does it say?
That we're containers. That's how supposedly the aliens look at us. That we are nothing but containers.
Containers of?
Containers. Maybe containers of souls. You can come up with whatever theory you want, but we're containers. And that's how we're mentioned in the documents. That religion was specifically created so we have some rules and regulations for the sole purpose of not damaging the containers.
The souls? Meaning?
Well, the souls or the bodies, whatever.
Meaning like we're containers for souls that they're going to use at some other point.
Right.
And that they had something to do with different prophets and biblical figures.
Yes.
It's like, what?
Well, that supposedly Jesus and two other beings were genetically engineered. They were implanted in people on Earth in biblical times, and their births were closely monitored. Now, just some little connections to that my wife had brought up were in the Bible. They said that the star had followed Mary wherever she went, and that all UFO sightings always start out as people, well, gee, that looks like a bright star, and well, in fact, they said in the Bible, the brightest star in the sky followed her where she went, and it just made little connections like that. Okay, I don't know what else to touch on about.
What did Carl Jung mean when he said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate? Well, let's break it down. Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist in the early 1900s. He was a student of Sigmund Freud, Freud being best known as the founder of psychoanalysis, a theory and therapeutic method focused on the unconscious mind and its influence on the behavior and mental processes. Jung ended up splitting from Sigmund Freud and forging his own path. He believed that the human psyche wasn't made of just what we know, but of what we hide. This includes our wounds, our fears, our unlived lives, and our shadow. Jung said if you don't give awareness to this hidden self, it doesn't just go away. It controls you from the dark, like a puppet master behind the curtain. You'll sabotage relationships, repeat the same arguments, chase the same failures, and then you will call it destiny. But Jung argues that it wasn't destiny. It was you running from a part of yourself. So how do you make the unconscious conscious? Well, the very first thing you do is slow down. You pay attention to your triggers. You trace your reactions to their roots. You study your dreams. You notice the patterns that you thought were just the way they were in your own life. Because that bitterness you carry, that shame you ignore, that craving you can't explain, they are not random. They are hidden messages within you. Jung wanted you to be conscious of yourself. He wanted you to stare into your own darkness and bring out the light. Because once you see your shadow the way it is, it stops controlling you. And for the very first time in your life, you'll start writing your own fate.
Hey, you know what? I hope that leads you to be successful, happy, and healthy. All the blessings to you. Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books. I appreciate you guys for stopping by yet again and watching another one with me. If you haven't already, smash that like button for me. If you're not already subscribed and a part of the iTrack fam, smash that subscribe button, and I definitely will catch you on the next one.